The sword is an interesting card which can be multifaceted in terms of its symbology. The kanji character on top of this card is ken, meaning sword or blade in Japanese. And this card is described in the story as being of great power and also of long range, and so it's alluded that it can travel through the energy of space and time, suggesting a symbology akin to many images and allegories from all throughout history, such as the sword of the tiler in Freemasonry, traditionally wavy in pattern and shape, therefore suggestive of fire, such as that mentioned in the biblical Genesis, guarding the way to the tree of life, and symbolic of a crossing or cutting away of veils, be they veils of ignorance or literally through worlds and dimensions. The sword is shaped in the fashion of a rapier, and it has upon its hilt a winged pattern, making it appear both figuratively and literally similar to the swords cards of the tarot, of which are ruled by air, and also Aquarius, Libra and Gemini, and also of the power of action, either constructive or destructive, and also of intellect, but along with it a melancholy, a suggestion of struggles and of misfortune. In many tarot readings, swords can indicate a requirement for drastic and necessary action, of being faced as seen here with the Rider-Waite 2 of Swords card, when haste is required to choose a path, but one is hoodwinked, a symbol with Masonic origins, the temporary blindness of the hoodwink, a symbol of the deprivation of moral and intellectual light. Therefore, within Freemasonry, the candidate of whom is hoodwinked represents one immersed in intellectual or spiritual darkness, and therefore the sword would once again be the symbol to cut through that darkness of spiritual ignorance and be reborn into the world of light. The wings make the sword appear almost as if the element of air is associated with it, and indeed the swords cards are connected with air. That the sword would take off or be born into the world were it not for the chains holding it down is something of which this image is suggesting. That it would take a great strength to remove the chains is reminiscent of the historic folklore of swords being a symbol of leadership, strength and ceremonial artifacts. For instance, the popular myth of the sword in the stone is possibly a memory of when swords were first forged from bronze out of stone casts. The effect of the hot liquid bronze turning into a shimmering solid metal must have appeared almost like magic to the Bronze Age people of whom witnessed it, and therefore the finished article would be treated as something of extreme importance. That the chains may be cut by the sword itself is another symbol here. In this way, once again, symbolic of removing limitations, and also similar to the banishing dagger as used in ceremonial magic, such as the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, and therefore the basis for a wider ranging ritual sword or dagger such as the athame of popular paganism. As ritual objects, these blades are of course not used to draw blood, but are instead channels of intention, conduits of astral energy, of which in rituals such as the aforementioned are used to trace shapes and signs into the air, or may be used in other works to bless or to consecrate. If the blade touches the chalice in particular, this is also a fertile symbol as well as one of pure symbolism. In the centre of the sword's hilt is a blue sphere, similar to the fourth Sephiroth on the Tree of Life, that of Chesed. Its root is kindness, and its purpose is action. But the ultimate act of Chesed is creation. What we call creation within Chesed is not the creation out of nothing such as seen in similar cards, or in other words, a physical creation. However, it's referring to the interaction between God and man The aim of Hermeticism yet again with the as above and so below. In this case we return once again to the image of a sword as a tool of the magus, a mediator between worlds, able to both bless and curse, give life to something or take life away from it. It is a symbol of rulership, and thus inspired action to be taken. To draw this card suggests a breaking free, a cutting through of the chains that bind us both physically and spiritually. It can be similar in this regard to the swords cards in the tarot, and is asking the observer to take that action of which is required to release themselves from whatever binds them. It may also be a test. Can you pierce through the veil of ignorance and discern truth from lie, helpful from hindrance? This card asks us to raise our own swords, like the tiler in the temple, to guard the treasures of our own souls.